Okay.
Hi everybody, I'm John. I'm the owner of Magic Crystals Painting in Richfield, Connecticut. Just sanded down a beautiful table. We're doing some polyurethaning for durability and sheen. We've done half the table so far. We sanded this down to a 220 grit, which is very smooth. Cleaned it off from the dust, and now I'm just going to show you some application that, my method of doing things. I think it works out real well. Nice even tone, just no bubbles and things like that. We're going to apply a second coat after this for durability. This table gets used a ton, will last 2 or 3 years. I mean, you don't have to do it. I just like it looking really nice, so I do it myself. So we can do this for you, and I'm just really kind of showing you so you can do it yourself if you like. So here I go. I'm just going to move along as quickly as possible with this material. I'll start on the end here. In the wrong direction, you should go with the grain, but this is how I cut in. I get it like that, and later I'll bring it this way. I like to keep this thing wet and kind of get moving. You want to put an even amount of material throughout your process of laying it out. How do you know that? Well, you get a feel for it. So what I'll do is I'll take about half this table. Instead of working the whole thing and allowing it to dry here faster and getting a lap mark, a lap mark is where it's drying and it's wet. You don't want that, because then you have to sand it out and start over again. So, just get everything wet. You can see this when we do another coat on top of it's like wet on wet or shiny on top of shiny, this is a satin finish. A little bit harder, you have to get down there and really look at it. Here I can see that the dull marks are going. So I'll come down here, and now I'll bring those edges that I had brought this way, I'll now take them this way, nice and light. I'll take the brush, literally. This is a Purdy 3.5 inch. It can be used for oil or latex. This is an oil base, so this really nice brush, and I just take it nice and soft, and I'll take it this way, all the way down. Sometimes I can see a light spot I miss, and I'll just go back and forth. I also see bubbles here, little bubbles, and what I'm trying to do is pop the bubbles by a little, like a fast light stroke. Okay, I have an edge here, which I normally would have cut in earlier, but I'm too busy BSing with you, or talking, I should say. I'll get this cut done first, real quick. Then as my drips go over, I can just give them a clean lick like that. Come back for my bubbles on the edges. Okay. Clean bucket, completely clean, strained with some kind of a strainer you can get at the paint shop. You've got to do that. You don't want a bunch of stuff in there, even if you think it's not in there. A very fine strainer too. They come in they have cups that you can buy. They're very cheap. So clean up this edge. I don't miss the spot there. Okay, so like I said, this is the way I like to get it on the edge. I can clean up the side. Now I'm going to work from, don't work here because you're going to get yourself wet. You want to work out and come to you. So I should go like this. I'll try to make this quick for you. If you have furniture like this is Minwax. It's satin. It's an oil base. I've tried it over and over, and it's just really good stuff. I personally wouldn't use it on the floor, but on these tabletops, I know a lot of people have granite and stuff like that, but I kind of like wood. Okay, so now I've done that. Now I put the poly down. Now what I'm going to do, since I moved quick enough, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do the whole thing. This half. That half is already tacky. I wouldn't touch it. If you touch it, you're going to mess it up. So you leave it alone. Even if you miss the spot, just leave it alone. The next coat you can correct those mistakes. This is just very light. It's a one-shot deal. I can see bubbles. I don't know if you can, but they're little bubbles. They will eventually pop, but I want to break them as many as I can. Okay? All right, that's that. Now you want to check your edges. Like this. Right around. Nice and light. So I got some drips down here you can't see, but I'll end up scraping those or sanding those. Those are little mistakes I made. That's okay. This edge looks pretty good, actually. That other edge you can't see doesn't look so good. So I'm going to do this one more time. I can go back and forth and make it really fast. I'm literally using the weight of the brush to do this. I'm not working at all. I'm just trying to follow back and forth and not miss anything. So, there you go. This is a brand new polyurethane table. It's an older table. We had restored it years ago, and we just kind of kept up on it every 2, 3, 4, even 4 years, depending on how many kids you have. I had 4 kids, so that would be every 3 years approximately. But that's it. That's coat number 1. Then we'll go into a 400 grit, and we'll just lightly skim over it, and then we'll put another coat on, and the application process is exactly the same. Get a little ventilation in your house if you have a nice day. Open up some windows, otherwise it gets a little bit a little toxic feeling, but for us it's not a big deal. I hope you may have learned something today. Take care. Magic Bristles.